Hey, beautiful soul. This is Brian Wong, your spirituality bro. Thank you for being here today. We will discuss a topic that it's I think it's such a difficult but also beautiful topic at the same time. So we're gonna talk about what God is, what He is, what she is, and I will try to explain this in the way how I came to realize God and to accept God, because I was such a hardcore atheist, like to the bone, and it amazes me how much I've changed during the last year in my way of seeing life and my surroundings. Well, anyway, so I want to share with you why I turn my again to the acceptance of God, and so I know that all of us comes from different perspectives. I will try to be as polite and respectful to everyone, of course. I respect all beliefs. I don't think that any belief is wrong, actually. So, good. So let me start by saying God. So why do we want to shoot this video? It's because when, I don't know for you, but for me, when I say God, or when I hear about God, it's like the most utmost respect feeling grows in me. It's like whenever I try to say a word too quickly with the word God, I feel like, oh, I should be so careful with it in some way, right? But it also gives me, it's like where all my hopes lie in, right? I mean, just not just because of me, but I mean of the world, right? It's like a word that for so many people is linked to hope, or is linked to love, or is linked to the goodness in the world, and is linked to a lot of, it's like what cleans the tears from our eyes, so to say, right? So it's that powerful energy, right? And so I think that in the experience of a human being, just touching upon God, it's the topic of God is, well, so beautiful, because when you think about that, there is something that is so good, regardless if you believe it exists or not, but just the word itself, the idea of it, I think it's so beautiful. That's why I want to shoot this video. Okay, so God, I was such a strong atheist, many people know. I was such a die-hard science guy. I was so focused on facts, but it all changed. It really changed. When I was small, my parents put me a lot into religion, and it caused me a lot of pain. So I became that. Because of that, I became an atheist. But since I was a kid, that linked me a lot into thinking about God, like for the rest of my life. And eventually, many weird like things that, if it were to happen to you, it will call your attention. It will call your attention because, like, how can it be so many coincidences at once, And you start thinking like, and you start thinking about the possibility that God exists. So that happened to me. Many things. I mean, many of them were scary. I don't want to share them here. But it was amazing how many of them were happening in my life. Some people would come close to me and they would be saying, "What are you doing here? You know that something else exists." And I mean, some things like this repeated so often. It was like the push that I needed from the universe into seeing things differently. So anyways, so what is God? Well, I started thinking this, like so many of the things that were happening to me back then were in the mind, really. They were just like inside. Okay, before you say I'm crazy, just listen out. So we always spend our time from our eyes outside, so we're always just constantly so busy with the outside world, like so busy with the things that we can try, the things that we can see, the things that we can hear, the things we can smell, whatever, any sensation. So we're just always so outside. But I mean, since I was a kid, I have a very wide imagination, right? So I can really just vividly see, imagine things very easily. So for me, it was very weird to think like, if I have these conversations in my mind, these voices, then, and it seems like almost everyone in the world has these conversations too. How come we never study that? How come we never really just, we're so focused on outside that and not at all in the inside. And that's where I found God. That's where I found God, and I realized that, wow, wait a minute, like, that is exactly what all these people have been saying now, that we're so focused on satisfaction from outside, and that actually where God is not also not wanting to be happy or to experience good things in your life, or satisfactions either. Even what I mean is that that's irrelevant. I mean, that they exist is fine, but there exists all of this inside too. All of these experiences we have with ourselves. When you're alone, for example, or just in your thoughts and the things you think, and they all exist there. And that's it. We're so focused outside, while everyone has always been saying, go inside, go inside, go inside, study the inside, study the inside. That for me is when I started to see God. And I understood that God is the universe. I understood that, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The God, this huge topic that which governs all. Well, who would match being that? Who would match being God? Like, what existing thing would match to being God? And I mean, what is bigger than the universe? And that's when I found, like, oh damn, that's God. So how I accepted this belief, or why the arguments that came in my thoughts, like coming from outside, from people telling me things, and me seeing different signs, and it was very weird. But anyways, so how I started seeing this is that the universe is just, I'm sorry if it takes me some time to explain it properly, because this is just a huge topic that I don't want to throw to you like a bomb, because it is a lot. I mean, when we're talking about God, we're talking about everything. So there's like so much that, like, even trying to grasp where to start at is difficult, right? We can say, like, look at all the religions. Let's start this way. Look at all the religions. And you have, when you look at all the religions, they all point to the goodness of the world, they never point to the evil, like, the big religions, at least, and even people who are satanic, they always just fight because they have a belief in themselves that that's the goodness, but they always just follow the goodness, right? They just always follow that which is good to them, let's say. So I started seeing, like, oh my God, that is God. Like, what everyone is pointing to their goodness, to their hopes that they want to achieve, having a business, having a family, being this or that is God. That is like all the good things that could not be achieved were God. And so I started thinking, wow, that's what every religion shares also. And I came across this way of interpreting God. When you have all the religions, right? God is like an elephant. And let's say you have five monks with their eyes tight closed, so they cannot see, and they're all touching the elephant, but different parts. Some of them would say God, it's like a strong tree, because they're touching the, how do you call it, the horns of the elephant. The other one would say God is fluffy, like a butterfly, and it will be touching the ears. Another one would say God is strong, and very very scrubby from textile, and they will be touching the feet of the elephant. So it all depends. So, I mean, they were all signaling to God or the elephant, but they were all just experiencing different parts of God. That's it. So a religion, what it is accumulation of the hopes and beliefs in the goodness of the world put together and just turned into a bubble that is became Christianity or became Buddhism or became any other bubble that you might know of common beliefs about God or um, agreed descriptions of God. That's what a religion is, right? But they will be all pointing to God, you know? So when you equal this goodness that we all search for in our own ways with the universe, and you put those things together, then you realize that the universe is love. The universe is love. And when you say, yeah, Brian, but how do you know what's the proof that God exists? Well, the universe. The universe, that's the utmost thing that could live up to being God. The universe, that's how God is, right? And so when God, the Bible says that we are made to his image, well, yeah, we're made to the image of the universe. And so, you know, from the energy of the universe, the masculine energy was born, and from the masculine energy was also the feminine energy was born. So, and that's how God plays this whole thing going on and on and on. You know, he just splitting himself. God is literally like us and everyone splitting himself in different personalities and trying to understand what he is. So when explaining when someone say, does God exist? It's kind of such a funny thing, though, that God would be asking himself if he exists. It's like, or, you know, when you look at, like, what is God? Like, well, you know, all of the things, the plants, the house, that is God, you know? And God, like in all his forms, God always tries to achieve love. God always, like through experiencing of himself, through you and through me, God is trying to seek that which is God himself. You see, because he searches for the love. So God is always on the search for God because, you know, you are someone who is experiencing, like, searching for God, right? So, so the universe is always in search for himself. And that's why the Buddha says the answer is within you, because you're always been here present. You've never been lost. You know, this all the chaos in the world, or it's because we just don't know that God is just right here, right present, like everything, you know, the plants, the house, you, everyone is God, you see. And it is God, it is a part of God that is searching for himself and trying to find out that at the end, actually, you know what, all he ever was just love. So, but in that finding is why we have wars, why we have inequality, or why we have suicidal thoughts or any other form of lack, because in that finding is just in the between God starting the search and God finishing the search, and to getting to know that he's only love. And that all between, that all that time is what, well, the time of the universe. That's what time is. Between, you know, he decided to search what he is, and until he completes it, all of that is just time. And that's what you and I are experiencing at this moment. We're just experiencing the play of God finding himself. And it's such a beautiful, tragic, but also it gives so much hope that to know that in the future, that's what the future points to, you know, it points to love. You know, when you say like we're falling to gravity, we're also falling forward into the future in time, and we're falling into just realizing that everything is love. So that's why focusing on love is so important, you see. And it is such a beautiful topic. Then thank you so much for being here. My name is Brian Wong. I hope you like this video about God, and please like this video if you want, if you would like to. No pressure. It will help other people seeing it though, this video, because YouTube will share it. That would be nice for me. Leave a hard comment in the comment section, so we can connect. And if you haven't done so, and if you want to, subscribe to my channel too. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.